Okay, guys, we are here today at Worst First. I'm so grateful for all of you that have been listening and watching and leaving comments and rating and everything. It means so much to me because it's all I have in life right now. So thank you so much for that. We have an incredible guest today. Obviously, you're already looking at him for when you see this live. It's Brandon Boyd from Incubus. Oh my God. So glad you're here.
Yay.
I am so happy to have you here, actually. It's so
Thank
crazy.
you.
Guys, I have kind of an insane backstory of how I know Brandon.
Everyone loves a good backstory.
It's like kind of creepy, actually.
Origin stories.
This is an origin story. Okay, so when I was like 16 in high school with disgusting, I had clear braces. They were
amazing.
like, they were awful though, because like, they always turn yellow. So it just looks
Right.
like you have disgusting teeth, right?
Right.
So I was obsessed with Incubus. Me and my best girlfriend, Nadina, we were obsessed with you guys. Like, we were like your favorite top band, like had all your albums, everything, just we're dying. And you guys came to Philly. And her and I were like, you know what? We're going to go to that show and we're going to get backstage. And that was our goal, okay? And we had general admission, like we had like nosebleed seats, right? Because that's like all we could afford. We were like 16 working at pizza joints.
Yeah.
So we had these nosebleed seats, but somehow, and I don't know how, we managed to get in the front row of the show. We like
sheer determination.
Dude, I don't know what it was. It was like luck. Like we just kept squeezing through people,
Right.
and we managed to get in the front. And my girlfriend, who was really, really pretty, she's still very beautiful, like really gorgeous, right? So one of your roadies or stagehands, right, sees her and I, mostly her, because I had the crazy teeth. And he's like, not the girl with the chunky braces, the other one. He sees her and he comes up to us and goes, hey, do you guys want to go backstage? And we were like, oh, fuck yeah, totally. And he's like, here you go. Here's 2 passes, and gave us backstage passes.
My inner parent, I'm not a parent yet, but my inner parent is just cringing right now.
Right. Like so shady. And we're 16, by the way. Okay. So we're like totally like not grown up enough to be doing this. And so he gives us these backstage passes and we're so excited. But meanwhile, my girlfriend we were hanging with these guys and she's getting wasted. So we go backstage and she's so drunk, she can barely walk.
Oh my
and
gosh.
she pees herself. Literally on the floor as your roadie guys walking us backstage.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God, you're ruining this for us. I was going to kill her. I was like, fuck, like you ruined this, right? And
you should have peed yourself too and been like, it's a Philly thing.
Yeah, we just fucking pee everywhere. It's all good, dude. Just peeing all over the floor. It's chill. So he's like, dude, she's way too drunk. I can't bring her back like this. Obviously, right?
Okay, thank God.
Yeah.
I'm hearing this for the first time right now.
Oh my God, I know. I'm
starting
like
to sweat
giving him
already.
trauma. I know, right? He's like here to be traumatized. So then we leave because we can't do anything. She peed her pants. Like it was disgusting. The guy's like, I'm not bringing your fucking piss stained friend back with me. So I was like, what about me? He's like, no, you got chunky braces. I was like, fuck. So we leave, we go home, but I was still determined. Okay. And I was so mad at her. I was like, fuck, dude, like you ruined this whole thing. Like all I want to do is meet them. They're like my idols, all this shit, right?
Handle your drink.
Yeah. I was like, fuck, why'd you have to be so wasted? See, alcohol's the worst. Anyway, so the next night you guys were playing again.
Okay.
And it was one of those months where like I could easily change the number. Like backstage passes back then were like the sticker, that fabric sticker that you just stuck to your clothing and like had like a date in Sharpie.
Oh my God.
So it wasn't like...
What you're revealing to me, you haven't even finished your story, is that you're extremely resourceful already. I'm already... Okay, continue.
So guys, just letting you know, if you're a stalker, don't ever give up because it can happen for you, okay?
Right.
Look, he's here right now. I have him. He's captured. He's in this tiny room with me. No, I'm just kidding. So basically, I changed the date on the freaking sticker. And I go to the show the next night, but I didn't have tickets.
Right.
So I freaking somehow...
Was it the Electric Factory?
It wasn't. It was like the big one. It was the
PNC?
Philly...
Oh, that's in Jersey. I'm sorry.
It was one of the big arenas. It wasn't the Electric Factory. The Electric Factory would have been so easy to sneak
And we did
into.
2 nights at an arena?
You did 2 nights at an arena. You guys
Wow.
it was a huge thing.
Okay.
This was years ago, obviously.
Yeah.
So I sneak in somehow. I didn't have tickets. I just had a backstage pass. I sneak in. I drove by myself to Philly, okay? And I get backstage. I don't know. I just kept walking around like I knew what I was doing, right? And I had the sticker on, so no one said anything to me.
You held your bladder. That's
I did, and I didn't
like,
drink
she's
anything.
cool. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. And I just looked like I knew what I was doing. Like if you look like you know what you're doing in life.
That's been my trick the whole time. I've gotten into so many shows, even before Incubus was like people recognized us as a band.
Yeah.
I saw how people got backstage, and it was mostly just a nod and a confident walk past security.
Thank you.
So we just
literally
basically ruined it for everybody else.
Everyone else is just going to start doing this. There's going to be mad people showing up backstage like, what's up, bro? Yeah. And like just walking with like fake stickers on them.
Right.
So yeah, so I just kept looking confident and I was by myself and I was walking like, nodding at people, whatever. And then I get to like your dressing room area where like you guys were hanging out and there's a guy checking IDs. Obviously, because you guys have that kind of protection, he needs to make sure everyone who comes in the room's 21 or 18. I think it was 18. I don't know what it was.
I didn't even know we had that.
Like,
wow. I mean, I'm happy that we did.
Yeah, they did. They protect you guys. They protect you guys. There's a security guy, and he was big guy.
Yeah. Were we having a party or something?
You were having a party. You guys were playing like poker and playing around. It was fun. Not like actual poker, just like playing around.
We were playing CeeLo. That's what been our game for many, many, many years.
Okay, so you're playing that.
Yeah.
You guys were having such a good time. I was like, oh my God, I could like see everyone hanging out, having fun. I was like, fuck, I gotta get in there, right? So then your opening band, and I don't remember who they were. Like I pulled one of the guys aside and I was like, I have a backstage pass, but I'm only 16. I was like, can I get in here? And he's like, oh shit, yeah, totally. And he like just put his arm around me and walked me past the fucking security guard. And then boom, I'm in the room and I'm hanging out with you.
Right. If you tell me what year it was, I could tell you which opening band was contributing to the delinquency of minors in that occasion.
It was either like 2004 or like 2003.
Okay, I'm not going to say their names.
Oh, dead. So basically, he like walks me in, and I'm hanging out with you guys, and there's not many people back there. Like it's literally just you guys, and like everyone's chilling. There's not like a ton of girls or anything like that. You guys are totally mellow, which I just thought was so cool. And like I totally had a conversation with you, which I don't expect you to remember, and took a picture with you, and you were so nice and so cool. And I was like, oh my God, he's just as cool as I imagined and everything like that. And it was like the best night of my life.
Oh, it's amazing.
And I was so happy to meet you, and it was awesome. Yeah, and so that happened. So and now you're here, which is crazy.
I know, huh?
So I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like life is bonkers. It really is. Like it's actually kind of insane. So then I ended up moving to LA, like cut to me moving to LA, whatever, end up all this Vine stuff, and here I am, which is so bananas.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, it was crazy ride, but I mean, man, life just takes some twists and turns and then it comes full circle, you know?
It usually does, yes.
It really does, right? Yeah. The circle of life.
The circle of life.
Yeah, so I wanted to share that story. So if you're a stalker, just never give up on your stalker dreams because it can happen for you.
I don't think you needed to tell them that. Just by nature of being... By the way, who would have ever thought that stalkers as a breed were so ahead of the curve?
Dude, so ahead of the curve.
Now it's like when you like meet somebody and say you want to go on a date with them, it's like you just do some mild stalking beforehand.
You do. Everyone's a stalker.
Give them a Google, check out their Instagram. There's some suspicious behavior here. I don't know if I'm going to do this. Or you go down the rabbit hole.
Dude, we're all stalkers now. It's kind of crazy, right?
It's very strange.
Like voyeurs. I mean, we can go and look at someone's whole life online. It's bananas.
A curious version of their life, though. Have you heard the term the curated self?
No.
I'm guessing it's sociologists that coined the phrase, but it's used in the sense that we are putting out these versions of ourselves through social media, mostly. That is a kind of self-curated. It's like the best version that we put forward, but it is only mildly representative of reality.
It's just our highlight reel.
It's the highlight reel, exactly. That's a better way of putting it.
God, isn't that the truth? That's why I am a little different in a sense, because I put all my dark shit on there too. Like if I'm having a bad day or if I'm like having like a whatever moment, I post about it. Because I'm just like, you know what? I don't want people to think that I just have this great life and I'm taking all these fit pics all the time. My life is great. No, I post everything. I'm like,
because that's actually really beneficial. I'm sure, because that is more representative of like a normal experience, quote unquote normal experience. Even though your life isn't normal,
not at all.
You know, my life isn't normal in the grand scheme of things either. But even people who have public jobs or jobs that put them in the spotlight, they get diarrhea sometimes. They get depressed sometimes. They get a flat tire. They go to jail occasionally. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
There's really
they're normal.
There's no such thing as the life that you see, the most glittery, glitzy versions of people on Instagram and social media. That stuff is mostly an illusion.
Dude,
it helps to keep that in perspective.
Yes, and thank you. And that's so true. Like people look at these girls and they fantasize. They're like, oh my God, I wish I could be like them. I wish I was like, it's not real.
Yeah.
Most of it's not real, you know? So it's really sad. But speaking of crazy things and stories, I don't know if you gave some time to think about your worst experience, and it can be a job.
Worst experience like of my life?
It could be anything. And
wow.
But mostly most people do their worst date experience.
So when we talked earlier, I've been thinking about that, and I'm completely drawing a blank on what my worst first date was.
Okay.
I have, in talking to many of my other friends over the years, I've learned that I have not dated that many people in my life.
Cool.
It's nothing really. It's just how it's been. I've been really kind of like choosy,
Good.
yeah, picky, kind of guarded.
Good.
And who I've sort of like
Let
interacted
into your
with.
Circle.
Yeah, not completely innocent, but also not. I think I probably dated less people than the average person my age.
That's awesome.
So, and I guess it's maybe some kind of a blessing that I can't think of a worst first date.
Really?
I really can't think of one.
You've never had like a bad experience where the girl was like crazy or annoying or like anything happened?
Sure, but nothing that's really like noteworthy.
Really?
Where there's been a few first dates where I'm kind of like, nice to meet you, and what time did you say your flight was? That kind of a thing.
Dead. He's like this podcast. He's like, I gotta go. See ya. Gotta go record. Gotta get out of here. That's so crazy. So what?
Can you recall a first worst date?
Oh my God, I have literally like 1,000. I mean, just
what
living
made
in
them
LA.
So bad?
Oh, well, I mean, I've told this story one time where basically like the guy lies, and I went on a date with this doctor. And I met him I was going to my psychiatrist. I've told this story before, and I was coming down the elevator, and this doctor is in the elevator.
Heavy quotes around doctor?
No, he's a real doctor.
Okay.
He's a real doctor, but I just do that because it's like the story gets bananas. I've told the story, but I don't know. I've told it on here, I think, maybe. But anyway, I'll tell it again. So I'm in the elevator. I'm coming down this elevator. And there's this doctor, and he's really handsome, and he's in the elevator. And
Dr. Handsome.
Dr. Handsome. And I'm standing there, and I'm like, oh my God. And he's like staring at me. And then he's
Did he have a stethoscope around his?
He did. I mean, he was a doctor.
No.
He was a real doctor, though. He was a cardiologist. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my God. And he's so handsome. And I was young, and he was staring at me, and I was like, hi. And he's like, hi. He's like, you're so beautiful. Can I take you on a date?
Wow.
And I was like, oh my gosh, wow, that's so brazen and cool, because people don't really do that in LA.
I have to admire that. If it's coming from a place of like genuine like interest in somebody and not just like some creepy come on, that you have to appreciate that kind of audacity, because you can be like, no.
Yeah.
Or you can be like, yeah,
exactly.
I'll go on a date with you.
And he was so handsome. Like, I'm sure if you walked up to a girl and were like, oh my God.
I'm a doctor.
Or no, even just you. I'm fucking Brandon Boyd. I'm like, you're so beautiful. Do you want to go on a date? Any girl would probably be like, fuck yeah, like totally.
If I was like sort of turning it up though, I think I would go by Professor. I'm Professor Boyd.
I'm Professor Boyd. They're like, whatever, I don't care. I love you. I go on a date with you, totally.
Aren't you the singer of that band?
Yeah. Like,
fine,
totally, right? So he goes, and then he hands me his card, and he goes, just text me your number, call me, right? And I look at his card, and it's like cardiologist, and I was like, oh my God, so amazing. This cardiologist, young, hot cardiologist asking me on a date. So I text him, or I call him, I don't remember. This was a long time ago. I don't know if we had texting yet. And so I call him, and he's like, okay, I'll pick you up. We're going to go to like this really nice restaurant in Beverly Hills. And, I'm so excited. He picks me up in his Porsche. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so impressed.
Did he have one of those phones in the Porsche with the curly?
Oh yeah. No, this wasn't that long ago. He had it, right? I'm like, thanks. I'm old, but I'm not that old. Yeah. So he had a beautiful Porsche, and I'm like driving this like beater Volkswagen. I'm like, oh my God, like, oh God. I'm like, so I'm so excited. I get in the car with him. He's so sweet. He takes me to the restaurant. He's like, it's this beautiful restaurant in Beverly Hills, so expensive. Like literally I could like never have afforded it at the time. And so he goes, order whatever you want, as many drinks as you want, whatever food you want. He's like, we'll have everything on the menu, right? And I'm like, oh my God, this is so amazing. And like the waiters all know him, and he's like this big hotshot, right?
I'm taking dating notes right now, by the way.
Are you?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say, you don't really need to do that to impress a girl. You could take a girl to like McDonald's. She'd be like, I went on a date with Brandon Boyd. It's great.
Take someone to McDonald's, but go on.
Right. You're like, I don't eat that food, thanks. So we're sitting at this restaurant. Everything's going beautifully. The conversation is great. We're coming to the end of the dinner, and I see him start going like this. And the waiter brings over the bill.
Oh,
and I see him just
no.
kind of adjusting himself and checking his pockets. And I'm sitting there pretending not to notice because I'm fucking broke. I had literally maybe like $150 in my bank account, right?
Right.
Literally, he's going like this, like checking. And then he finally looks up at me and goes, "Hey, I must have forgotten my wallet. Do you mind getting this one and I'll get the next one?" Dude, I was the brokest.
And he took you to like Dorsey.
Dude, he took me to like the fucking like the president was serving us food. Like it was crazy expensive, okay?
Wow.
And I was in my little like hipster jean jacket, like totally broke, clearly like not able to afford this restaurant.
Right.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, having a fucking internal panic attack because I'm like, I'm going to bounce my, card because trying to pay for this, right?
Wow.
And I maybe had like, I don't know, my dad would give me like $1,500 a month just to survive, but that was for rent, okay?
Sure.
So I had basically zero, right? So the bill was like almost like $2,000 because he'd ordered
What did you order?
this. Dude, I don't even remember, but it was like, whatever, escargot. I'm all snails. I'm like so uncultured. I'm like escargot.
That's snails.
Right, snails. Okay, so it's fucking snails.
Parlez-vous français?
J'ai étudié français en école, j'ai parlé un peu.
That's way more than me.
Très un peu.
Yeah.
So I basically ordered he ordered everything on the menu, and he meanwhile, by the way, was drinking a lot. He drank like 2 full bottles of wine like himself. I mean, we were there. This was like a 4-hour dinner. This was like a great, when you have a really great time with someone and the time just kind of goes and you're just spending all your time there. Like we closed the place, right?
Wow.
So this bill was bananas and I was shitting my pants. And then, so I was like trying to be cool because I was like, I don't want to like ruin this because we had such a good, conversation. And I was, he's like this hot doctor. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to act cool and take care of it. I know. Should I not have done that?
No, good on you. That's awesome. But where did it go from there? Did he pay you back?
Okay, so this gets so much worse. This is why it's a worse first. So I put my card down. I pay for it. Thank God it goes through. I don't know how. It was in the red the next day. My dad called me. He's like, I'm going to fucking kill you. So I get home that night. He drops me off. I don't even know why I got in the car with him, though, because he was, like, fucking wasted.
Wow.
Guys, do not get in the car with people that have had, like, 4 bottles of wine, honestly. Like, just don't.
Just picked up a $2,000
And you just picked up a $2,000 job. You're like, okay, you can take my life and my money. So I'm in the car with him. He's driving erratically like a psycho. Uber and Lyft weren't out yet. Otherwise, I would have totally done that. And, getting a cab in LA back then, it was, like, not even heard of. Like, it wasn't New York City.
Right.
So we get home safely. Thank God I get home safely. And I told him before I got out of the car, I said, hey, listen, just call me and let me know you got home okay. Because I was honestly worried because he was pretty drunk and it was not cool that he was driving.
Right.
So he calls me about like 20 minutes later and he still sounds really drunk. And he goes, hey, I'm just calling you to let you know I got home okay. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad you're home okay. And he's like, but you're not going to believe what happened. And I was like, oh no, what happened?
Try me.
Right? I'm all killing myself, getting ready to call my dad to like pay him with my kidney.
Right.
He's all, I got pulled over by the cops. And I was like, oh my God.
It sounds like this was his worst first date.
Right. I was like, what did you do? And he's like, no, it's okay. I pulled out my wallet and showed him I was a doctor and they let me go.
So he had his wallet. What?
So I said, excuse me? And then he realized what he said and he was like, and I was like, you just said you had your wallet? Why did you say you didn't have your wallet? And he was like, literally quiet for like almost a full minute. And then he goes, I just went through a really crazy divorce.
Oh my God.
My ex-wife took everything from me. And I vowed that the next girl I went out with, I was going to make sure she wasn't after me for my money. So I make them pay for the first date. And he goes, don't worry. I'll pay you back. I'll take you for a massage. And I was like, dude, this is so fucked. Like, I don't even want to go on another date with you.
In fact, I might call the police.
Right? Like, why would you test me like that? It's so freaking weird. And so I was like, you know what? Actually, you can leave me half the bill in a check on my doorstep. You know where I live. Mail it to me, whatever.
Yeah.
And we'll call it good.
Right.
And he was like, okay, I'll do that. Never paid me back. Never paid me for half of it. Never heard from him again.
Wow.
Yeah.
So where does Dr. Handsome work?
Cedars. Bitch, I want to say his name so bad, but I will not.
Well, there aren't that many like really handsome doctors
Cardiologists.
that drive Porsches. So
Yeah, so we
just
could
so
figure it
you
out.
know.
Yeah. We got your number over here. Anyway, so we're going to take a quick break. Here's a quick word from our sponsors. Hang in there and we'll tell you the rest of what happened in this story. We're here with Brandon Boyd. I'm so excited. I want to talk about his game coming up. He made a game. We're going to talk about that. Okay, stay tuned. What's up, Worst Firsters? Brittany here. I don't even know if you guys like being called that, but oh well. I have a cool new offer from the company Lola. What's Lola? Lola is a female-founded company that offers a line of organic tampons, pads, liners, and all-natural cleansing wipes. So this is for guys, clearly. The founders, Jordana Kier and Alexandra Friedman, started the company with a simple, seemingly obvious idea. Women shouldn't have to compromise when it comes to feminine care products. They ask themselves, if we care about the ingredients in the food we eat, the beauty products we use, why shouldn't it be the same for our feminine care products? And that's a really good point. You know, they sent me a bunch of their products, and I was actually really surprised to see that they have all the ingredients listed of what is in these tampons and pads and wipes on the side of the product, on the side of the box. It comes in cute little boxes. They're individually wrapped. It does not like really, obvious that you're getting tampons in the mail, so it's nice and discreet. It's all organic. It's gynecologist approved, hypoallergenic, great for on the go, biodegradable, basically everything you could possibly want for something that you're going to stick inside of your body. I was really excited to get these and try these so I didn't have to worry about, where was this made? What was it made with? You're putting something inside of you. It's very important to know what the deal is with it. So if you guys are interested, you get 40% off of your subscription service. So you can just order whatever amount of pads or tampons or whatever you want every month, so you don't have to go to the store, and they deliver them to your doorstep. And you get 40% off with the code Brittany. That's BRITTANY. So you go to MyLola, that's MYLOLA.com, and the promo code is Brittany, BRITTANY, for 40% off your first order. Hey guys, it's Brittany, and thanks for listening to Worst First. I have a really fun offer for you guys today from HelloFresh. If you haven't heard of them, HelloFresh is a meal kit delivery service. They shop for you, they plan everything, and they deliver these step-by-step recipes and pre-measured ingredients in a box to your doorstep. So you just open it up, cook, eat, and enjoy. Eliminates you going to the store, having to figure out what you're gonna make. You can literally go to their website, HelloFresh.com, scroll through recipes. They have veggie options. It's great for kids that are picky eaters. They sent us a couple boxes over to the house. We made so many things, but our favorite by far was the beef tacos. So if you eat meat, I highly recommend trying those. And if you do decide to try it for this service, you get $80 off your first month's order. $80 off just for my Worst First listeners from HelloFresh. You just go to HelloFresh.com/Brittany80 and promo code Brittany80 for $80 off your first month of HelloFresh. That's HelloFresh.com/BRITTANY80 and promo code Brittany80 for $80 off for you, for fresh cooked meals to your house, fun to make with the family, and you will love it. Thanks again, guys. Enjoy. So that was a great break.
Wow.
Do you feel rested?
I do. Your sponsors are awesome.
They're so fast. Okay, so enough about me. I want to talk more about you. I feel like this whole podcast has been about me, and I want to talk about you.
I love learning about you and your
Really?
experiences here. Yeah, that's pretty wild. I honestly think that you handled that really well.
I did.
Even though it didn't like end well, like your assertion that like, you know what, bro, give me half.
Yeah.
And then we're done. Like that was a really big move to even like think like.
Should I have said that?
Yeah, I think that was the right thing to do. Yeah,
okay.
that was on the up and up. But then the fact that he like just never paid.
Didn't.
Yeah, and he works at Cedars. Come on,
dude,
man.
He makes bank. But his wife apparently just took him to the cleaners, his ex-wife. So he was like, I have nothing. All I have is my car and my apartment. He was like giving me this sob story. And I was like, dude, I have no dollars in my bank account. Like, I'm living off of top ramen and like mattress fiber. Like, I literally have nothing. Like,
just nibbling on a little
mattress fiber. Yeah, like there's a
there.
hole in my wall that I can see outside. Like, you don't even know. Like, don't plead the fifth. You know what I mean? Like, don't make me feel bad for you because it's so much worse over here. I've been wearing the same clothes for 7 weeks. Like, it's kind of crazy. Anyway. So I want to talk to you. You're an artist on top of you're an artist in more than one sense of the word. You're a musician. You're an artist that draws and paints, and you're literally like the epitome of an all-around artist, which is so cool. And I love that because I draw and I paint, and so I've always like admired that about you. And you came out with this game and it says it's how does this? It's an optimistic memory game, which I
Yeah.
love. Optimistic memory game, and you
Yeah.
spelled it like mystic.
Yeah, I love playing with words. That's kind of the first thing. And so Optimistic was this thing that I started, this moniker, I suppose, that I started to play with, maybe 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And I started doing limited runs of just like T-shirts that had like just different, like it said Optimistic on them. One of them said I fuck on the first date, but with like an I.
Dead. Do
like,
you?
Like I fuck on the first date.
Oh.
Just so like playing with words and
Because
playing
you
with
I
like,
fuck people, but you don't fuck them.
on the first date. It depends, I suppose. Depends on how.
Exactly.
Depends on if you paid for dinner.
Oh, dead.
Kidding.
Well, hey, hello. Easy target over here.
Right.
No, this is so cool, and I opened it up, and it's like your drawings.
Yeah,
are on
so
the cards.
I did. I
And I'll
I
show
draw
this.
and I paint when we
Yeah.
tour because it's a much better way to spend time in hotel rooms and stuff than like watching TV or being on the internet or something. If I can't like walk around and see the place that I'm in, I usually paint.
I love these though. I actually, and so the really cool thing about it, guys, is that there's all these cool drawings on the cards, and you put them all. Like the game is you put them face up, right, and then it's a memory game.
You put them face down.
Oh, face down, all
Yeah.
face down, and then.
And then so the game is called Two Doors,
Yeah.
and you are attempting to remember where each
Thing is.
of the matched card is. So it basically is kind of an homage to a game called Memory.
Oh
that
yeah,
we were
memory.
growing
Yeah,
up with. I think it's from the
That's what I'm
70s.
saying. It's totally.
But it was like match chicken with a chicken,
Right,
horse
right,
with a
right.
horse. It was quite rudimentary. I think it was for kids.
Yeah.
So this is kind
Like
of
the adult version.
it's like a more adult version, though kids have been playing it and enjoying it.
Oh, I love
So
that.
I found, I think it's 36 or 37 different synonyms for door. And then so you're matching these different synonyms for door, like vent or tunnel or access, entrance, that kind of a thing.
Ingress. And this is a great game if you do have kids to teach them these words, because there's a lot of big words too. And the designs on the cards are so cool. I'll show a close up of this on my Instagram. And it's really cool. And actually, games they say like this help prevent like Alzheimer's and stuff.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't necessarily the reason I did it. I think that the reason I did it was that I wanted to make something that was like the complete antithesis to where we are in our sort of cultural moment, with everything being so fast and so just everything just skim. And so the skimming thing is almost acts like a metaphor for how we're moving through our cultural experience right now. And especially on a person-to-person basis. Like I use social media. I use my phone daily. And I'm even willing to acknowledge that I have like a kind of an addiction to it.
Yeah.
And so in acknowledging that, I've been forced to kind of like look at my own behavior as it relates to that, and my behavior with the people that I love and my closest friends. And it's so interesting because we will, when we're away from our loved ones, we're like constantly vigilant on the phone. Like, where are you? What are you doing? When can we meet up? Like, what's the next thing? Here's this picture. We're like constantly trying to be in contact with them and vigilant. And then when we're together, we're completely distracted by what's going on the phone. So I just thought it would be kind of funny and maybe even ironic to have an old school tactile game that forced you to interact with someone or
at the most
people around
rudimentary
you.
level.
At the most rudimentary.
Yeah.
Hey, can you remember where this one met this one?
That's not where it was. Yeah. And you
Yeah.
have like a real, like just normal human experience where you
Totally.
guys aren't like
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And it's actually really fun. I've played it with a bunch of friends, and I usually lose. I don't know if that's because
you lose your own game?
yeah, I should be like the master.
You should be
of
at
it.
the
I think
best.
I've won once
Really?
in like a dozen plays of it with friends.
And where can people get it if they want to get it? Is it like at Urban Outfitters?
No, that would
It
be
should be.
great. But
Guys, Urban Outfitters, get your shit together. I'm going to tag them in this. Like, you guys need to get your shit together. This is so them. Like, this
Well,
is
it's
a game
still-
I could see there.
it's still new as well. I've just
Right.
been doing little launch events. I did an event in New York at Bookmark. Thank you, everyone at Marc Jacobs, for facilitating that. And I did an event at Ron Robinson here in Los Angeles, and then I just did one on Saturday in Chicago at Vertical Gallery. So certain places like those places are carrying it,
Yeah.
but it's mostly just available on my website.
I love that. And what's the website?
BrandonBoyd.me.
BrandonBoyd.me. So it's just on your own website.
Yeah, I have painting stuff, and I've
Yeah,
published a
you're-
handful of books and things like that. So.
Your art is incredible, dude.
Thanks.
Like, it's kind of crazy that if you weren't a musician, you could have really just been an artist too.
That was the plan, actually. If I had a
Really?
plan growing up, if I really checked in, like when I was a teenager, and people ask, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" My answer was immediately always like, "I'm gonna paint. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing."
Oh.
And so rock and roll kind of snuck through the cracks and came and found me. And I truly fell in love with it. And I have a kind of an obsession with music and making music. But what's cool about making music is that it doesn't necessarily create an obsession that blocks out other forms of expression. In fact, it's created space for those things over the years.
Wow.
Or I suppose I've created space for those things because I feel like a more complete human when I'm able to have many tentacles out in different places at once.
That takes a lot of energy.
I also don't really watch television very often.
Oh, good.
So once you like break the habit of certain kinds of media consumption, there's a lot of space.
There's a lot of space to be filled in. You're like, I'm not watching TV. I can paint.
Yeah.
Or I can draw.
Totally. You get bored.
Yeah.
It's an amazing thing. Like I know this from growing up. Like my way of avoiding boredom was to draw, or we'd go outside and we would dig holes and stuff like that.
Dig holes. Let's see who can dig the deepest hole.
We would literally dig holes.
What's the point of the game? We're just gonna see who can dig the deepest hole. I love it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we'd play with bugs. I grew up around in rural Los Angeles, so like
really?
we were collecting bugs and learning how to like befriend tarantulas and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And eventually that gets boring. So we
Yeah.
started playing instruments, and then we started, playing with my mom's paints and her brushes and things. And so my brothers and I are all kind of similar like that.
Wow. How many brothers do you have?
I have two brothers, an older and a younger. Yeah.
Do you have a sister?
I have an older sister as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you guys all close?
We are. Yeah.
That's awesome. And you're all kind of the same, artsy.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Do you
That's
have
awesome.
siblings?
I have an older brother,
You do.
but we're very different.
You are.
Yes.
How so?
Oh my goodness. My brother's very interesting in a sense that he was the coolest guy I knew when I was in high school. He was like really into Pantera and like all like Cannibal Corpse, all this like heavy music, and he played guitar really well. And so
Yeah.
I was like, and I was just raised with my dad and my brother, so that's why I'm kind of a tomboy in a sense, because
Yeah.
I was raised around that. And so like I like went to Ozfest with them and Pink Floyd and blah blah blah. Thus discovered eventually you and all these other people.
Did you see us at Ozfest?
I think I did see you guys at Ozfest. Yeah, I think that's kind of like how I first like fell into you guys.
Yeah.
I was really young, and so my brother was this really cool dude, and I was like, oh my God, he's like this musician, he's so rad, and I want to be like him. And then he started dropping a lot of acid, and
Like too much?
like too much, where you like it like changes your brain. And
It can, yeah.
so now he's like super. He was like one of the smartest people I ever knew too. And then he kind of like it changed him like almost completely, where he went from being like a total musician into like all kinds of like really cool shit to like now. I mean, not that he's not into cool shit. He's just a different person.
Yeah.
So, and I love you, Greg, if you're listening to this, obviously. He's just a totally different guy. Like, he's into astrology now, and he's like, he's got a great job, and he makes great money and everything like that. It's just kind of like he changed. Like, it's so weird.
Astrology or astronomy?
Astrology.
Ah.
Like Miss Cleo shit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So.
Didn't she go to jail or something?
Yeah, minus the jail part. Yeah, well, we hope. Yeah, so he loves that. I mean, it's not his job, but he loves it. He's like really into horoscopes and stuff like that. So yeah, he's just like a totally different person than I am.
From Pantera
to
the Age of Aquarius.
Fucking yeah,
Amazing.
exactly. That's a great album name.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, no. So yeah, we're just totally different people.
Yeah.
It's really interesting, but it's cool, I mean, I love it. You gotta have diversity. So you actually grew up in LA, outside of LA.
Yeah, I grew up in Woodland Hills, and then my family moved to Calabasas when I was
Oh my God, where I live right now.
like 10, I think. Yeah, and I lived there until I was 18 or 19. But
Wow.
we started touring, the band started touring. We started when we were 15 at Calabasas High, and then we
Wow.
started touring when we were, I was barely 18. We started touring internationally when I was 20.
Wow.
So our band has been together for, I think it's been like 28 years.
Dude, that's incredible.
It's wild, huh?
That's a long time.
Yeah, it's most of our lives.
Right. That's like your whole life.
It's so much
Other than
of
being
my
7.
experience.
Yeah. That's amazing. You're like, I'm 7. Okay, now I'm in a band. Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God. So wait, how did you guys get your first big break? And I know people listening that probably are huge fans of you even know this already, but I would love to hear it personally.
By first big break, what do you mean?
Like, when did you know like this was taking off and this was going to happen for you guys?
This might be kind of a window into my deeper self-reflection or my self-esteem level, but I always kind of have this default thing where it's like, it's probably going to end tomorrow. I've had that
every day of my life.
my whole career.
Yes.
Even when we were selling like 30,000 records a week and like on TRL, and I was like, this is so funny. Like, but thanks for having us.
Oh
Like,
my God,
it's probably
Dad.
gonna be over tomorrow. So I don't know, but then there's other guys in the band who have the exact opposite thing where it's like, oh, we're done. So I think we
Wow.
balance out somewhere where some of us are kind of like happily surprised walking in every day, or like showing up on stage and there's 20,000 people there. It's like, oh my God,
Where'd you guys come from?
I can't believe you're still here.
Right. They love you.
It's such a wonderful thing. It's such an incredible blessing. But first big break, there wasn't one thing, to tell you the truth. It was a really slow reveal.
Really?
Over the years, yeah.
Wow.
We were turned down incessantly. We tried to get signed when we were teenagers, based on a bunch of demos, and we were like, selling out clubs in Hollywood as teenagers when we were still in high school.
Amazing.
And so record label people were coming to the shows, but didn't see anything there worth like investing in, I guess.
Wow. Even though you were selling out?
Yeah, I think maybe they thought we were just like kind of a
local sensation,
a local flash in the pan kind of a thing. And then, so we decided to put out our own album. We financed it ourselves. It's called Fungus Among Us.
I had that album. It's insane. Obviously, I love it.
Literally insane.
I love it. I love it.
So we did that when we were in high school,
right?
And then
I can't believe you did that in high school. Wow. Okay.
And the things just kept slowly getting more and more interesting. And then record label people started coming, but they were like turning us down. Like, no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Wow.
So we just kind of were like, okay, we're going to be an indie band, and that's that kind of idea. Whenever we heard like, no, it's not going to happen, we're sort of like, okay, and we would kind of find the way around and adapt around the obstacle.
Wow.
And we've done that over and over and over. Even some of the songs for us that were like our biggest hit singles, if you want to call them that, weren't going to be singles if it were up to the record label. Like, we were like, okay, we're going to put this out on our own and make a video, and hey, look at the video we made. And they're like, great job. And then it becomes a thing. Some of our number one singles internationally have been us just going, we really believe in this song, we're going to do it anyway.
Isn't it crazy that you're like the talent and you're like, no, like people like us for a reason. I know what I'm doing. And then these record labels try to tell you what you should be doing. And you're kind of like,
All that being said, like, we've had we've worked with some amazing people at record labels, both at Epic Records, Immortal Records. We were signed to Island Records for a time. We actually are happily independent now. We have been for a couple of years.
Wow.
And so everything that we do now is just sort of like, hey, you want to make a new song? Sure. So actually, we're going to release a single in just a few weeks.
Yes.
And we're going on tour. We start playing shows actually in just about 2 weeks. So we'll be doing festivals all through the spring and early summer, and then probably going to be on tour in the fall. Like,
okay, amazing. And it's going to be on your website.
Yeah, everything will be like, there'll be a proper announcement. Actually, Incubus HQ for that stuff. IncubusHQ.com. Yeah.
Dude, you guys have to see them live. They're like one of the most amazing live shows. Like, honestly, and I've seen like obviously a lot of bands, but I'd say you guys and Nine Inch Nails are the only people that I've seen live Radiohead where I was like, oh, sounds like the album, like sounds so good and real. And like a lot of other bands you go and you see and you're like, oh boy, they've been really worked in the studio and they don't sound anything like them, you know? But you guys are actually like totally amazing.
Thank you. Nine Inch Nails and Radiohead, they're so good live.
Dude,
I've seen both of them multiple times.
So good live.
So
like
exciting.
Bananas. You're just like, oh my God, how is this happening?
This wasn't a date experience, but I saw Radiohead at the Hollywood Bowl. God, this has got to be 10 years ago. And my girlfriend and I at the time and my younger brother were like, let's have a weed lollipop and watch Radiohead.
Dead.
And
way too much, way too strong.
Yeah, the only bad drug experiences I've ever had are from eating pot.
Talk about panic attack.
Right.
You're like, am I dying right now? Like, it's scary. Yeah, I know. Because you can't dose it.
No, well, back then, I think it's better now. But like, I don't even mess with it now because it's too volatile. But so we each had this weed lollipop. Or no, it was a weed cookie, and then we had these lollipops that we were gonna like. We're so cool eating this lollipop while we're high on this weed. And this band called Liars opened up for them, who I really liked as well. But they were really weird, and so it kind of set this strange mood. And then Radiohead comes on, and I was sitting in one of the boxes at the bowl, and your boy Keanu Reeves was right in front of me.
Dad, I love him.
Yeah, I love him too. But he was like dancing like all Keanu Reevesy, like not Matrix flow,
but like
he was
stiff,
more like Keanu Reevesy to Radiohead, and it was fucking with me so bad that I started to go like, I'm like way too high to be in public right now. Am I gonna throw up right now?
The worst.
Am I about to throw up into Keanu Reeves's box? And
you're not gonna throw up on Keanu Reeves? Is he gonna dodge it like he does in the Matrix?
That was what was going on in my mind, but I was like, I can't even enjoy Radiohead right now because I'm too high. This is stupid. What's wrong with you? Oh, I'm gonna throw up. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Here it comes.
No.
Oh my God.
No.
It's like Karma Police.
No.
Nausea.
No.
And I look at my girlfriend at the time and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I was about to like just let it all go. And a burp came from like the Timbuktu of my
stomach,
like the furthest reaches
Dead.
of my stomach. And it like rattled through my esophagus and my whole body and like vibrated my whole head. It was, did you ever see Revenge of the Nerds Part 2?
Of course.
Remember when Booger like meets like the burp sensei?
Yes,
And
yes,
he's like,
yes.
"Master."
Yes.
It was like that burp. And then all of a sudden, after everything just went perfect and like everything became clear, and Keanu Reeves was like actually a pretty good dancer. All of a
Wow.
sudden.
Oh, shit.
And then the night changed completely. But
Dead.
that's my Radiohead
So you didn't
story.
throw up, you just burped.
I just had a really amazing sort of raucous esophageal rumbling.
Did he turn around? Was
He
he like,
may
whoa, dude?
have.
Was he like, whoa, dude?
Yeah.
Are you going to throw up?
Thanks for not throwing up on me, man.
Okay, but edibles are so scary. I've had a crazy edibles experience as
We have to
well.
be careful with
Obviously,
those
I don't eat weed anymore. I smoke it, but I don't eat it. I can't handle it, and I
Mm.
can't even handle like weed full on anymore. Like I've noticed as I get older, my tolerance for drugs is extremely low. I don't
Yeah.
know why, but I can like literally only smoke spliffs now because I can't handle like the full weed anyway.
Right.
But dude, I love you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing that story. That's
Sure.
amazing. The almost throwing up on Keanu Reeves story. That's like the highlight.
First worst, almost thrown up on Keanu
Keanu Reeves, yeah.
Sorry, Keanu.
He listens to this. He's like, whoa.
Yeah. You dodged a bullet there.
Literally. Dude, thank you so much for being here. He has to get to the studio, you guys. He's actually working on more Incubus music for you guys. So I love it. You're the best. I appreciate
Thanks.
you being here. You've been an amazing guest.
Thanks for having
And
me.
make sure to go to brandonboyd.me to get this game and incubushq.com
I believe so.
to check out future tour dates because they have some amazing tour dates coming up and you guys have to see them live. They're incredible. So that wraps it up. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, your grandma, get her on Wi-Fi. Make sure to follow this page. It's incredible. We have so many more amazing stories coming forth. And thanks for listening to Worst Friends.